Hey everyone, welcome to the session. Myself, Sagar, and today I'm going to talk to you about future of data governance, how we can leverage Purview and Azure Databricks Unity Catalog on Azure to drive and implement the data governance feature for an enterprise. So before we get started, let me share briefly about me. Myself, Sagar Lad. I have 11 plus years of IT experience. I'm working as a data and AI solution architect. I'm also a data management and governance expert, Databricks champion, as well as published author of 4 books. In my role as a data and solution architect, I am involved in designing and implementing data management, governance, and analytical solutions. The role also involves reviewing and overseeing the teams in delivering the right product, following the standards, guidelines, as well as the future state architecture. Have deep expertise and knowledge on data management and architectural governance structure. I also have comprehensive skill set in architecting Azure-based solutions, leveraging advanced technologies to drive efficiency and effectiveness. So the professional skills, data solution architecture, enterprise architecture, data strategy, consultancy, as well as complex problem solving. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. So the agenda for today's session will be introduction to data governance, understanding the data governance in more detail. What are the current challenges with data governance? How we can leverage Microsoft Purview for data governance, unified and open data governance with Unity Catalog, and at the end, what are the future trends in data governance in the upcoming weeks, months, as well as years. Yeah, so first of all, before we deep dive, let's try to understand what is data governance. Data governance is a strategic framework for an enterprise company to make sure all the data that is being generated or which is available to be used, it is accurate, it is secure, and available to all the people, all the users or business at the right time. The whole purpose of data governance, if you put it in a simple term, it is about establishing policies, process, and also the responsibility to manage the enterprise data efficiently so that we can turn the data into the value. As we all know, we are into the digital world, and also Gen AI is booming and is being used each and every area. So in order for you to have a good AI solution implemented, you should have right quality of data, and that's where data governance and management plays a critical role. Now we understood what is the high level definition of data governance. Let's try to understand why data governance is needed. What are the critical factors and importance of data governance? With data governance, we try to define the policies, standards, guidelines across the enterprise that will help and benefit ensuring data quality, accuracy, as well as consistency. There are also a lot of regulatory compliance across the world. For example, for Europe, there are a lot of financial institute as well as also for other institute where we have a GDPR rule to make sure that the personal identifiable information should not be exposed without any purpose. The data should be stored securely. We have HIPAA regulatory compliance for financial institute to mitigate the risk. They also have BCBS 239 compliance. So with proper foundation of data governance, it is also helping the companies to comply to and implement a regulatory compliance. It is not only for complying to the regulatory compliance, but also it will help them internally to prepare a strong foundation of data so that they can become more data driven and bring the value out of data. Now, the third reason why we need to have data governance is also the to strengthen the data security and privacy, enhance, and then next is also to create more data driven decision making. Data governance plays a critical role. And in order to improve the overall operational efficiency, data governance is also definitely needed. Now, with the proper foundation of data governance, we will also be able to convert the data into the assets. So with good data governance, we can laying up a foundation of data to convert it into one trusted asset, which will fuel the business growth as well as also the innovation. Now, after understanding the importance of data governance and what is data governance in a nutshell, let's try to understand the data governance in more detail. Uh, Data governance, in order to implement the data governance, each and every company or enterprise define a data governance framework. So the data governance framework is a structured approach which defines how the data is managed to ensure the quality, security, compliance, as well as usability across an organization. So what are the key components of data governance framework? Let's try to deep dive. First is in order for you to implement a successful data governance framework, you need to have a data governance strategy. Now, your data governance strategy is in line with your business strategy, where you need to have a vision, mission, objectives, and based on those business mission, vision, and objectives, how we can define and build a data governance strategy. So align the governance with your business objective and also define the goals and the success metrics which can be monitored throughout the different phases to understand the progress and also have a transparency across the enterprise. In order for you to be implement a data governance framework successfully, there also needs to have a clear definition of roles and responsibilities. So there are different type of roles available. First is data owner. So data owner are the person or who are responsible or accountable for owning the complete data. So if someone wants to use the data, they can determine if they should allow the end user to use the data for a specific use case or not. But apart from that, if there are any data quality issues, data gap, data quality check, even those needs to be addressed towards data owner and the team, and they have to fix it so that they own the overall quality of the data. Data stewards, their main role is to ensure the data quality and compliance. So throughout an enterprise, how the specific golden source or data that is being used, what are the data quality measures, and getting the complete feedback on a regular basis from the end users or the business teams to improve the overall quality of the data so that the people who are using this data can try to get the value out of the data immediately instead of focusing more on data cleansing and also avoid the duplicate work across multiple consumers. Data governance committee. Now, when we talk about data governance framework, there are many areas where the decision has to be taken, the policies has to be defined, standard has to be defined. So data governance committee is a central committee which involves CDO as well as multiple data domain owners to to brainstorm, discuss, and also agree on the policies, standards, and governance as well as way of working across the team. Then data policies and standards. So this is more in line with the data, with the role of data architecture, where throughout an enterprise or a company, how the data will be used, how we can make it more secure. If we are using a cloud platform, how it has to be secured, how it has to be encrypted, how the data has to be shared, data establishing the guideline for data access, data sharing agreement, data contract, as well as for how much time the data has to be retained from data provider, as well as also by different consumers. So those are the commitments or agreement needs to be written down and logged into data policies and standards. Data quality and integrity. Now, data quality is one of the fundamental pillar if we want to implement data governance successfully. Either you are a person or a business, we keep generating lot and lot amount of data. But if you have a quality data, we can easily leverage that data to convert data into the value. So in order to have strengthened the data quality pillars for data governance, we have to implement various processes for data validation and accuracy to address the consistency, completeness, as well as duplication of the data. Metadata and master data management. So there are different type of data for any company. So first, let's talk about master data. So consider you are a banking industry. So we have customer who does the transaction, who apply for the mortgage. So master data is a data which we get because of the customer transaction or because of your core business functionalities. So that is called a metadata. That is called a master data. Now metadata is data about data, and you need to have a solid foundation for both metadata as well as master data to manage the data more efficiently, to discover the data, as well as also to leverage technologies like artificial intelligence and generative AI. So in order to have a good foundation of metadata, we can maintain a centralized data catalog where you can have an overview of all the data which is residing across the company. Apart from this, we can also have a consistent definition, all the terms, glossaries, ontologies, as well as taxonomies can be defined as a part of metadata. And also, we can enable a data lineage tracking and classification to understand more in detail how the data came, how it is transforming across all the applications or services or technology within the company. It is crucial for impact analysis, for regulatory compliance, as well as also to understand what are the changes or how we can have an effective aggregated reporting as well. Now, the next is data security and compliance. We need to have access control and data retention policies in place. Now, whatever technology we use, be it cloud or on-prem, and also within the cloud, how we are going to, make the choices for the services to store and maintain the data. It has to be complied to the regulatory compliance. So the data, personal information or PI information about a customer or personal should not be exposed outside the world and also even within the company until and unless they have a right use case and they have a right technology to implement. Data lifecycle management. As we discussed earlier, we keep generating lot and lot amount of data, so we need to have a proper data lifecycle process in place. So how we can manage the data starting from the creation of the data to when to archive the data, when to delete the data, so that we don't keep maintaining all the data, but also whenever we need to access or refer to the history data, then how we can refer it quickly. Define the data retention policies based on the business needs. Technology and tools for the governance. Now, in order to implement the overall data strategy, as well as all the pillars that we discussed, we have to make a right choice and the right technology to implement the governance. So there are various COTS products available in the market. For example, we have Colibra, we have Informatica, we have LTSN, where you can define the metadata, you can have a catalog, and you can prepare a data governance platform. And if there are certain specific needs for your company, we can also build all the custom solution. But one of the key point to note here is we should leverage the metadata repositories or different type of metadata as much as possible to manage the data efficiently, as well as also we can leverage AI to make a data driven implementation. Because as it is rightly stated, strong data governance framework ensures trusted and high quality data which drives to business value. So we need to have all these fundamentals in place in order to implement good data governance framework for a company. Now, after understanding the data governance in more detail, let's try to understand what are the current challenges with the data governance. Yeah, the first and the foremost challenge is lack of awareness and organizational buy-in. So for any company to have a very strong foundation of data management and governance, there needs to be a buy-in and from the leadership as well as also the people working in the ground. Because until and unless the leadership team as well as the people working do not understand the importance of data governance, we cannot change the mindset as well as also the way we manage the data and bring the value out of data. So it is really, really crucial for at least CXO level of people or people who are in the authority to have the right awareness of data governance and also how we can get that buy-in, drive the initiative so that we can become more data driven and the companies can take more data driven decisions rather than taking the decisions based on the emotional feelings or by looking at a competitor. The second challenge is data silos and poor data integration. So many times, and also as a company, we keep generating lot amount of data. The data is fragmented across different data departments. And because of this fragmentation, there are a lot of inconsistencies as well as redundancy and data duplication as well. So consider there is a department operation who manages the data, but then they have a different way to manage and store the data. There is another department called mortgage department or a supply chain department where they also create a data, but then they have a different way of storage. So there is not a consistency between the two departments. There are a lot of data silos, and many times there are also data duplication because there are no clear ownership of the data. There is a lack of ownership as well as consistency. Lack of unified data governance across the business unit. So for an enterprise company, if they want to have a successful data strategy, business strategy, as well as data governance, data should be consistent within the enterprise and also across the business lines. That is one of the bigger challenge. Ensuring the data quality and consistency. When we have data in silos and when the data is fragmented, many times it is very much inaccurate, incomplete, as well as inconsistent data. And if we have such incomplete and inconsistent data, we do not make the right decision because we do not have right data in front of us. So it is becoming a company less data driven, and also it can have a huge business impact. And we have often seen there are various challenges in enforcing data validation as well as standardization. So across an enterprise, there needs to be a central framework where we can have a standard data validation and standardization framework that can be used across the company. Compliance with evolving regulations. So as we discussed, in order to regulate the data and AI initiatives, there are a lot of regulatory compliance within the world, be it GDPR, be it CCPA, or be it BCBS 239. And it is not that these regulatory compliance are defined once, and then you have to just try to implement to comply and also improve and strengthen your overall data governance. But also it keeps evolving. So when these regulatory compliance or audit teams frequently audits and monitor your data platform, your data strategy, the way you are dealing with your customer data, and also it keeps evolving, so you have to abide by and comply to the new requirements and laws of those regulatory compliance. So you should be faster enough to have a stronger data governance in place and also try to comply and also abide by those regulatory compliance, not only for the sake of compliance but also try to leverage those compliance requirement to strengthen your company's overall data governance and management. Data security and privacy risk, because a lot of data are available and people are also using cloud based technologies. You need to have a complete awareness of how you can make your data secure because of the growing cybersecurity threats and the data breaches. You need to have a managed access control in place to so that data won't be exposed not only outside the company but also with inside the company without proper authentication and authorization in place. But also the security mechanism should be in such a way that if there are certain department or users who really should have access to the data, then they should be able to access the data and also turn the data into the value. So that you need to have a proper balance between the access security as well as the usage of the data. Lack of clear data ownership and roles. So as we discussed earlier, one of the key pillars of implementing data governance framework is to have a clear definition of roles. And without clear roles and ownership, we cannot implement a successful data governance. Scalability and implementation challenges. Now, if you have a right quality of data strategy and business strategy in place, but if you are not able to scale, change the mindset of the people and put all those principles into the practice, it is very, very difficult to, implement data governance and, leverage the value out of data. Resistant to change, be it data governance, be it data strategy, be it agile, or any change that we want to bring in across an enterprise. At the beginning, we always get, not everybody or all the associates are comfortable with the change. But then we have to slowly and gradually start adopting the data driven mindset as well as the data driven culture by spreading the awareness about the importance of data and how it can benefit company and improve the overall business. So with the right awareness, people will not be able to resist but also try adapt a new culture and the mindset. So for a successful data governance, there needs to have a strong leadership, collaboration across the associates within the company, and also the choice of right technology, so to implement the overall successful data governance framework. Now, how we can leverage Microsoft Purview for implementing data governance for your company. So before we deep dive, let's understand what is Microsoft Purview and its feature. So Microsoft Purview is a SaaS offering from Microsoft which provides unified data governance, compliance, and risk management solution which help companies to manage, protect, and optimize their data sources across on-prem, on multi-cloud, as well as all the SaaS environments. So it is a solution built on Microsoft Azure, but it can be leveraged to implement overall data governance also with the other multi-cloud offerings, as well as the SaaS products. So what are the core features of Microsoft Purview? First is data discovery and cataloging. With this feature, we can automatically scan and classify data across the sources. It enables the data cataloging capability with data management and makes searching of the data more easier. Data lineage and impact analysis. So with different type of connectors available in Microsoft Purview, we can scan different system, collects the technical metadata, and it has an out of the box capability to leverage different type of data lineage. So you can see how the data came from which platform, it went to Databricks, it went to Data Factory. Within Data Factory, what are the pipeline which has been used and what are the transformation has been used. So you will have a complete overview of data lineage and you can do the impact analysis as well. Data classification and sensitivity labels. So it is using AI-powered classification to identify the sensitive data. It also supports out-of-the-box various regulatory compliance requirements like GDPR and other compliance as well. Data access control and security. So it is possible with Microsoft Purview to manage the data access permission at a granular level. It has inbuilt integration with Microsoft Defender for security monitoring. Compliance and risk management are out of the box capabilities of Purview. So it provides built-in compliance assessment and reporting, and it is very much easier to enable data retention, encryption, as well as policy enforcement. Now, the beauty of leveraging Microsoft Purview is also we can integrate easily with Microsoft ecosystem. So we can integrate it with Azure, Microsoft 365, Power BI, and Databricks as well. Now, why to use Microsoft Purview for data governance? It provides a centralized governance with unified data management across hybrid and multi-cloud environments. It has automated data discovery feature. So it reduces the manual effort in data classification and governance. Compliance readiness. So all the standards which are defined by various regulatory compliance, it is available out of the box, so we don't have to start from the scratch. Enhanced security. With access control and sensitive data labeling, we can manage the data more securely and improve decision making. Purview ensures data quality, lineage tracking, as well as accessibility. So, in a nutshell, Microsoft Purview empowers organizations to build a trusted, compliant, and well governed data ecosystem. So, if you try to understand in a very high level manner, so Microsoft Purview is compatible very much with on-prem, any type of cloud or SaaS application. The core features are data producers and consumer can collaborate and work with Microsoft Purview. We have data cataloging feature, data sharing feature, data map, where we can manage overall data lineage and tracking of the metadata, data estate insights, and data policies as well. And it is also compatible with all the Azure capabilities like SQL, Power BI, 365. This is how the Microsoft Purview canvas looks like. So you can try to replicate your company's geographical presence as well as business department in the form of catalog and entities. You can create collection, and within the collection you can try to scan different application, enable the labeling, and also build the data catalog. Now, after understanding how we can leverage Purview for data governance, let's also try to understand Unity Catalog, which is one of the key offerings from Databricks for unified data governance. So Unity Catalog is a Databricks offering which provides unified governance solution for fine-grained access control, data lineage, tracking, as well as metadata management. The core features are centralized data governance. So be it cloud, on-prem, anything, we can use Unity Catalog for centralized data management and governance. It provides fine-grained access control. So it has role-based access control at a catalog, schema, and table level, as well as we can also enable attribute-based access control for dynamic policy enhancement. It has out-of-the-box feature for data lineage and auditability, where we can enable end-to-end lineage tracking, not only at a data level, but also at a column level. It is compatible with multi-cloud and it is an open source data sharing framework. Automated data discovery and classification. and it has native integration with Databricks ecosystem. So with Unity Catalog, we can leverage Databricks workflows, Delta Live Table, and ML flows as well. Now, why to use Unity Catalog? It provides simplified governance. It's a single framework to manage all the data assets. Strengthens the security with fine-grained role-based access control as well as attribute-based access control. Ensure compliance. It provides audit logging, lineage tracking, as well as access policies for most of the regulatory compliance we have within the world. It enables open collaboration. Delta sharing allows seamless cross-organizational sharing and also scales across multi-cloud. So it supports all the different type of cloud provider basically. So we can conclude that Unity Catalog enables enterprise to unify governance across all the data and AI assets in an open and a very scalable way. So if you look at the overall Databricks Unity Catalog features, it provides efficient data discovery, access controls, lineage, monitoring, auditing, as well as data sharing. And it also have tables, files, machine learning models, notebooks, as well as dashboards. So it is very much compliant and compatible with the inbuilt Databricks features as well. With Unity Catalog, it has a meta store. We can enable end-to-end lineage. We can explore the data. We can have role-based as well as attribute level access control, audit logging. We can also have a proper account as well as user management, ACL store as well as storage credentials. So these are the features available in Unity Catalog. Now, after understanding the Purview and Unity Catalog to implement your data governance, let's go to the last topic of this session, which is about future trends in data governance. So first and foremost, AI and machine learning driven data governance. As we understood at the beginning, the importance of data governance as well as how we can implement a data governance framework. With the help of latest tools and technologies like generative AI, we can leverage and create automated data classification and tagging. We can have AI-powered anomaly detection to prevent the data breaches, and also we can have a natural language processing technology for efficient management of metadata. Data mesh and federated governance. Instead of having a centralized governance, build a domain-driven data ownership, self-service data platform to improve the agility, privacy-enhancing technologies, so confidential computing to process data securely, and also try to encrypt and make this data more secure. Real-time and event-driven data governance. So try to have a dynamic data masking and access control to prevent the inefficient or unauthorized use of data. Unified multi-cloud and hybrid governance. So we can leverage multiple cloud, blockchain for data integrity and transparency. So decentralized identity management for data access, smart contracts for automated data governance and enforcement, ethics and responsible AI for data governance. So while leveraging AI and generative AI, try to make sure whatever AI framework that you build, which ensures fairness, transparency, as well as bias mitigation, and enhance regulation with AI generated data. Self-service data governance and democratization. So data cataloging and lineage tool with a user interface so that business users can efficiently discover the data and bring the value out of data without more hassles. Self-service governance portal to empower the non-technical teams and also try to shift the mindset of the people working in data governance so that there should be a more focus and also the insights and the importance from the leadership team as well so that we can shift the mindset across the enterprise, focus on the data literacy and governance awareness across the organization. Yeah, so that's the end of the session. So thank you so much for listening in, and feel free to post your message in the comment, or you can also connect with me on LinkedIn if you want to further deep dive. So thank you so much. Yeah, bye.